The first emotions that you feel, Adil?
No, I'm happy we worked hard and we achieved what we wanted to achieve. We came here to achieve what we wanted to achieve. And I think it was just a step up. Served 2 years on the council, 2 terms on the council. And this was just a step up to the next level. I worked very hard on the council. I've done a lot of work in very different areas. And I think it was time to step up.
I heard that you had a very outstanding speech that probably turned a lot of people your way. Tell me a few talking points from there, Adil.
For a very long time, I was thinking what I could tell 200 odd countries, their presidents, their secretaries. And then I came to the conclusion that if they put me on the council for 2 terms, then I must let them know what sort of work I have done on the council. So basically, I started with explaining to them that when we first came on the council in 2015, there were problems. Right after that, the French police had raided our headquarters in Monaco, and we had tremendous problems with police, courts, our sponsors backing out, media coming after us. And at that time, I was given the task, very, very sensitive task of being the chair of the strategic advisory group for media, and along with my colleagues, we really steered IAAF, it was then called, out of very choppy waters. And today we are one of the probably the most respected national, international federations in the world. That was one of my first points. The second point was I explained to them the pledge that I had taken in 2015 and reinstated in 2019 remained the same, that I would work hard to make sure that there was equal opportunity for all athletes from all countries, even the smallest countries across the globe, and to protect the integrity of the sport, and nothing has changed. And then if you want to give equal opportunity to all countries or all athletes, then development becomes a very important point. And then I volunteered to be on the development commission. I headed kids athletics, I chaired that. I worked on the coaches education, I worked on the technical officials education, I worked on the e-coaching, e-learning platforms. So basically we're trying to create a full ecosystem. I want to create a full ecosystem because that's the only way that every country can improve. And then the next important thing was that you needed a plan to be put in place. And if you had to grow the sport in the world, there had to be a plan. And then I was part of that plan. The committee which put the new world plan and the new strategic plan together. And then with my education and my background and my degree in financial accounting and auditing, I was then asked to come to the committee of the executive board on risk so that we could work to mitigate risk, whether it was financial, political, strategic, whatever. And then again, so that's basically was the way I looked at the speech. And then why me? Very clearly, I had the education, I had the knowledge of sport, I've been an Olympian, I have handled multiple sport events, there is an education. So with all that combined, that gave me a unique position amongst my competitors or my colleagues or whatever we call them, to be able to stand out in whatever I was doing. So basically that was the gist of my.
So was it a tough campaign to complete?
Well, fighting an election at the world level is tough. There are 200 plus countries voting. As I had pledged earlier that I want to make sure that I give equal opportunity to and fight for equal opportunity for all the countries across the world, including the smallest countries. I visited regularly over the last few years countries right from Europe to Oceania, from NACAC to Africa, countries in Asia, South America, and basically it's so different. I was in Oceania, and Oceania is nothing like anything to do with Europe. And islands in NACAC are so different. So I think one needs to understand that one size does not fit all. A lot of work is looked at with Europe as the the standard, but those people have just no opportunity. And then again, if you want to give them the opportunity, you need to educate them. You need to e-learning platforms therefore are so important to them. And then my experience in media, digital, etc., where I have run media companies, headed media companies, it became very important and also very useful. So for me to help them to create digital platforms, to create through technology, e-learning platforms, so that people can do their education on coaching or on technical officials, even on their telephones. So that was a very, very important factor to make them understand that it's possible.
Right. Let's get to India. There was conversation at the press conference that SEPCO addressed about India being a dope country, among the countries that top in dope. How much pressure does that put on the Vice President of World Athletics and the President of Athletics Federation of India?
Absolutely no pressure. Why should there be pressure? India, we are going after the cheaters. Before I became president, we used to test 120 samples a year. Today, we are testing 1,500 samples a year. I was instrumental in getting the bill passed in Parliament on doping. I am working closely with the integrity unit of World Athletics. So we are not running away from them. We are facing the challenges. We are facing what is practically happening on the ground because of poor education, of coaches, etc., etc. And I think we're doing a great job. We don't need to be worried. I think the issue is more education and more testing. And the more testing you do, and as more people get caught, they're going to stop doing it. It may not stop completely, but it will reduce. We have on our website a whistleblower policy where if you know of somebody who is either doping or overage, or there is a safeguarding problem, and if they report, they get a cash award of 5,000 rupees. So we are doing everything within our powers, and I'm really not worried because we're doing what we have to do, and we'll continue to do, and we'll even do more. So it's not an issue at all. It's just an issue somebody, maybe one of the competitors created, but that's not an issue at all.
Does 2027, does it look like Adille Sumariwalla will be president of World Athletics?
I have not thought that far yet. So at this moment, I think there's a lot of work cut out for me as vice president. So let me first do the task that I will be given by the president. And as we go forward, we'll see what